Another video, or the first video of them all. What to talk about? Another yap session. Got a couple controversial questions and topics to talk about, especially when it comes to relationships. I feel like nowadays, relationships, dating, just love, whatever you want to call it, is at a very, very low place. People nowadays just don't even know what they want. People see something online and just go by it. The things that they see on social media as if, it has any value to it. It's kind of hard building a true, genuine relationship and connection with anybody when we're constantly being shown relationships, and as a human, our mind jumps to compare. But there's just certain things that when you're building something genuine love, you have to sacrifice. And I wouldn't even say sacrifice. Let's say compromise, because in a sense, when you're giving something up, you're getting something in return. And it's the relationship, it's the love, it's the genuine sensation that you feel with this person. And it could be a little tricky, it could get tough, I will say. No relationship is easy. If you have a relationship that's so easy, then trust me, something is going on behind the scenes that you might not know. In my opinion, you have to think about what you gotta dive straight deep into the nits and gritty of these things. You have to ask the tough questions. You have to get down to the rough so you can see the beauty in a relationship. People, I'll say this. First question that someone asked me is it ever acceptable to cheat in a relationship? As a straight up answer, no. There should be no excuses for someone to cheat in a relationship. The idea of you going to somebody else instead of your partner for whatever it may be, it could be physical, it could be a conversation, it could be a question, but instead of going to your partner, you're looking for it somewhere else, it's cheating. And everybody has a different definition of cheating, but cheating is cheating. Anything physical with another person should end right then and there, because it doesn't get more deeper than that. Entertaining, flirting, even if you think it might be innocent, but in your heart you shouldn't be speaking to this person, you shouldn't be saying nothing back, or you shouldn't be even entertaining it, then why would you even do it? Sometimes you have to understand the person that you're with. We tend to just brush past certain things as if there's people out there that don't experience the same emotions that you do, or that just because you don't doesn't mean that they don't. You have to consider that every single time you get into a relationship. And in my opinion, call it what you want, but this generation is filled with that, with deception and lies that people tell themselves just to believe that they're okay. If I'm being completely honest, all these shows that I be seeing, these little dating shows and stuff like that, it's the most sickening stuff that I've seen. How are you a group of 8 to 10 people fighting for the love of others while they're meeting and fucking and doing all these other things with other people whole time? You expect it to be genuine? In my opinion, I think that's the first deception that people tell themselves. If you want something real, then you gotta be in a place where it's real. People love to go to the club all the time and expect to find something real. But how can you be in the club surrounded by a whole bunch of drunk people that just want to live their nightlife and in a sense just want to fuck or just want to do whatever it is? How could you find something real in that? I ask you, think for yourself first and don't just follow the trend. Now, take 2. Second question is an open relationship possible if I wanted one in a relationship? Let me ask that again. Is an open relationship possible in a relationship, basically? Okay. It's definitely possible. There's people out there that definitely want that. Especially in this generation, I see that being more likely. I think a lot of people need to be more honest off the jump that that's their intentions, because to look at the person that you're talking to and still have eyes for other is a trick that you're playing on yourself, telling, oh, I want this person, I want to be serious with the person. Whole time you're thinking about another, you're lying to yourself. You can be in an open relationship, but be honest about it. Don't lie to this one person that you're talking to, telling them you want to be serious. Whole time you want to be with her, them, and whoever. You have to be honest. And I think that's honestly another take that I have with this generation, is that people are fucking liars. Why is it that you can't man up to the person that you are? If you're a person, I'm gonna do both genders, because for whatever reason we like to think that it's only men, but females fall into the same category. If you're a person that, say, seeks attention, seeks the validation of others for whatever it may be, it's not something that is super dire to you, but you know you crave it, you like it, then you might as well be honest with the person that you're dating, so they can have a grasp of who it is that they're talking to. If you make it seem like you're super reserved, you don't care about this, you don't care about that, but the second that this person that you're talking to doesn't have all of these other qualities, or doesn't accept you whenever it is that you do these certain things, you can't be mad at this person, because you're feeding them these lies of yourself. Then not only are you feeding them, but you're lying to yourself as well. I think the biggest case I will say is this: people who love to go outside, be in these clubs, be in these bars, go to these parties, post on social media, and just live this lifestyle that they have, right? These type of people somehow, some way, want to be with a person who's super reserved, doesn't do all these things, doesn't go out seeking attention, is super like to themselves, gets to the money, super motivated, ambitious, and all these this and the thirds, when whole time you're living two different complete lives. I have a saying: leave the club people for the club people, and the homebodies for the homebodies. You get what I'm trying to say? There's been many incidents that I've seen around the internet of couples who, a girl, let's say, she would be the one that likes to go out with her friends on the weekends, get invited to the section. Oh, my homeboy this, my homeboy that, or my friend's homeboy, or whatever it is, invited them to go out. But you want to date a person that's always at home, that likes to do activities, that likes to go out to everywhere else but the club. What in common do y'all have? Where he lives a different lifestyle than you. Or let's flip it around. If it's a guy that goes out and is constantly in the club, buying all these bottles, going in these sections, being in the vicinity of all these temptations, because let's call it what it is, right? And then this girl is super reserved. She's at home reading her little books, and she has ambition to want to do more in life. What do these two people have that could somehow mesh together and people think it's gonna work? Not saying there's people out there that it won't work. Some people will find a way to make it work. But the problem becomes with the honesty, the lies. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people won't be honest. You have to be self-aware of who you are, who do you hang around with, the environment that you're in when you're getting into a relationship. It's hard, but it's realistic. I think a lot of people aren't ready for the emotional conversation that they need to have with themselves first before getting into a serious relationship. This third question that someone asked me was, is it okay to have secrets in a relationship? I'll say this. At first, when you're starting out in a relationship, by all means, everybody has secrets. We all have things that we keep to ourselves that we might not even tell family, friends, close friends, best friends, that we keep to ourselves. We might tell our best friends everything, but there's certain things that you might still keep to yourself, which is totally okay. It's normal. But when you're getting into a serious relationship with a person, you have to consider that. Consider them. That you can't keep lies, or not even lies, let me not even say that. You can't keep these secrets from your partner, not for so long. if you're trying to build such a genuine, strong connection with the person that no matter what comes into your life, or whatever obstacles happen, that you guys could get past it. I think the secrets come out with the time. 2-3 years later, you might just tell a person, hey babe, I've always held this down to myself, but I want to go ahead and tell you. And it can be something huge. There's certain people that have a very troubled past, certain addictions, certain histories, and things that they've done in their life. To keep that from someone that you're engaging with and you're starting out with, it's probably not the best thing, because depending on how dire the situation is, because for you to come years later and then tell them about it, I promise you the reaction is not going to be something that you expect. So you might as well take the time to say it now, when the time is fresh. The fifth question that someone asked me is, can past infidelity be fully forgiven or forgotten in a relationship? It all depends on the emotional maturity that you have and that person has. Infidelity, cheating, anything like that is wrong. We stated that. I've seen certain scenarios that a person might already be, let's say, living with their partner. They might have 4 or 5 years in. They might have kids with the person. They might be married, everything ties. They might have legal paperwork behind whatever it is. Just certain things that wouldn't necessarily allow them to just leave the relationship. Totally understandable. I just truly believe that if it's something that you can't fully forgive or forget, then it has to be something that's fully addressed and made sure that either it's not going to happen again, or if you're one of the people that just don't accept it at all, that you must leave. You can't continue to lie to yourself just because the feelings that you have with the person, just because of the history that you have, or whatever ties that's holding y'all together. You can't try to justify it and keep it together because of that. Infidelity is infidelity. Cheating is cheating. We said how I said earlier, how I feel about it. It's wrong, regardless of what manner it is, whether it's sexual, talking, intentional, cheating is cheating. Whether you're drunk, sober, it does not matter. Cheating is cheating. But it all depends on your emotional maturity with the person and for yourself when it comes to being fully forgiven or forgotten. For my personal take, in my relationship, that's not something that could be fully forgotten. It might be forgiven, but never truly forgotten. Someone asked me, is it possible for a relationship to survive without intimacy? It definitely can survive, but just for not long. To have an intimate relationship with someone sometimes goes deeper than certain people may think. You could have such a strong connection with a person. You might feel so comfortable with a person, but if you have no physical intimacy with the person, then what do you have? It's just a platonic relationship at that point. And what are those called? Friends. With that being said, the answer is no. You definitely do need some type of physical attraction in some type of way where you can engage this person and make them happy, make them satisfied. We all have our needs. We're all humans. We have to be honest about them. If there's nothing that you can satisfy, then what's the point? There's some people that, I will add this in there, there's people out there that, what do you call them? They love to be stimulated in their mind more than their body because of whatever history that they may have gone through. And that's something that you have to be honest with whoever it is that you're with. You have to be able to, if you really want to take it serious, overcome these obstacles with this person. You have to find a way to stimulate them in the way that they like to be stimulated, and vice versa. If you want to be stimulated in a certain type of way, then that's your way. But it's definitely important in a relationship. Another question is age difference a significant concern in a relationship? I'm gonna just go out and say it. Anything past 10 years is insanity. Clearly, there's legal boundaries of how far you could date, if depending on your age. For my personal belief, I believe even if a person is 35 dating a 25-year-old, it's wrong. It's still wrong. Because when you track down and you think back, when you were 15, this person was 5. You have to think about the age in every manner. Whether you could be 35 and you meet your partner who's 45, and that's when you guys officially met, it's okay. I understand you're a grown adult, by all means. You have the conscious decision to be able to make and decide whoever it is that you want to get with. But if we're being completely honest, it's still looked at and it's still weird, if we're being completely honest. In my personal opinion, I think it's definitely something that people should be more concerned about and think about when getting into a relationship. Age also ties into someone's maturity sometimes. That's something that you have to think about. You could say that you're meeting someone that's, if you're 35, you meet someone that's 25, but you say their maturity is way past what their age is. That's understandable, but their age is still their age. Without a doubt, their age is still their age. Still something you have to consider. Someone else said, can we successfully navigate a long-distance relationship? Long-distance relationships are possible, for sure, 100,000%. 100,000%. But it goes back to how serious are you? How bad do you want this person? Do you want it to just be entertainment? Is it just something to pass down the time because you can't seem to talk to somebody else? These are all questions that you need to have with yourself, because long distance is hard. And if you're a person that has insecurity, or someone that's jealous, or you just have a rough past of trust issues, long distance is going to be a very tough battle. And you need to find someone who's strong enough, has the will and desire to actually go through that with you and overcome these things, because it's very difficult. Not impossible, but very, very difficult. Someone else asked, is it okay to have different political beliefs in a relationship? 100%, 100,000%. You could believe the sky's blue, and I think it's red. But if we love each other, we have this connection with each other, then that person that loves me so much wouldn't give up until we come to a term that we both agree on. You're going to be able to enlighten me with your views, and I'll enlighten you with my views, and we'll find a medium. But you have to be open. You cannot be hard-headed or ignorant to what the person is telling you, no matter how emotionally attached you are to your views. Everybody has different beliefs. Everybody believes in different things. To be so closed off with the person that you're dating and getting serious with has something to do with you. You should probably check that out within yourself. Next question is, can a relationship indeed be equal, or is there always a power dynamic? That's a tough question. Tough question. But in this day and age, everybody wants to be equal. But at the same time, they don't. Let me break it down to you. Females, for example, they want to be equal in the sense of, if you get to do this, then I get to do that. You have certain friends, I could have certain friends. You wear this, I could wear that. I understand. But you can't ask for something. You can't be saying that you want something like that. You want equality of this and the third, but then get mad if this man tells you to pay, or he tells you that he doesn't want to pay the bills or whatever it is. Like, you can't be mad at these things if you want certain equality. I always say this. A lot of people want a traditional relationship where the man is the provider, the protector. Overall, the man is the one and the hardworking one putting it all together. But yet, they want that, girls want that, but yet be out here acting very promiscuous. They're out here living a life that they want to live, talking to whoever they be, having 3, 4, 5 other guys sending her money, just leading them on or whatever. How could you think like that? You can't be like that. If you talk to me in my personal life, when it comes to a relationship, I like being the provider. I like being the man in the relationship. But listen to when I say this, that I like to provide. First few dates, I don't mind paying at all, because I'm a man. That's something to do with my pride, that it feel good to just, I got it. Don't worry about it. But the second that I feel that I'm being used, that for whatever reason this is just another ruse for you, you do this every other weekend with 3 to 4 different people, then there's no need for me to continue doing that. You're not getting that type of person from me anymore. Now, I said I like being the provider, I like being the protector, I like being the man in the household. That also implies that I like my female to be the home carer. I like my woman to be the nurturer. I like for her to be in her feminine state. I don't need you to be out here rah, aggressive, trying to overpower me as the man in the relationship. Be the female, I'll be the man. Separate the roles, because there's roles in relationships. I have certain things that I have to do, and there's certain things that you have to do. Nowadays in this generation, we want to mix the two. Some guys want to be taken care of, girls want to be the provider, and it all ties into this generation, the way the things that we see. We see girls will love to see these females out here independent, big boss, getting all this amount of money, whatever it is that they're doing, right? Saying they want a man that makes this certain amount, meet me at my level, do this in the third. But you have to understand, the realistic aspect comes into where, yes, you're a woman with money. Yes, by all means, you can have your business. But at the same time, you have to understand that if you are getting in with a traditional man that wants to do all these things for you, wants to be that man, he would never want to feel inferior to you. As a man, listen, if I'm being completely honest with you, money is our way of feeling like the man and feeling like you're above, not even above, feeling like you have some type of say. Because listen, there's females out there that will, just because they have money, they won't let their man tell them what they can do, they could wear, where they could go, who they could be friends with, because in their sense, oh, you don't need the man's money, right? You don't need none of that from him. Cool, that. But at the same time, what are you going to gain out of that? It goes back down to the roles in a relationship. If you want a man, be a female in the relationship. Be who you're meant to be. And it's a tough little narrow topic to talk on. But at the same time, it's like, you got to be honest, man. You got to be honest. Last question. Would you be okay if your partner worked with somebody who had a crush on them? And scratch that question. How would you feel about your partner having a close friendship with someone of the opposite gender or hanging out one-on-one? I will say this, you need a very strong emotional maturity to be able to have that. You need to be able to be very secure within yourself for your partner to have a close friendship with someone of the opposite gender, or even hanging out one-on-one. You have to have that strong security within your relationship and who you are and who your partner is. If you have any type of sensation, I'm talking about the smallest amount of doubt within your partner or within yourself or whatever it may be, you have to make that aware with your partner and make sure that it's something that we both are aware of. In my eyes, from my experience, I haven't experienced something that you could be friends with the opposite gender, at least a close friends, or hanging out one-on-one without one or the other person eventually catching feelings. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it's definitely something that's very hard. If I'm being honest, the world that we live in, someone always has some hidden intention, some hidden agenda. It's definitely something that you need to be able to be honest within yourself. If you can be able to deal with that. If I'm being honest, I ain't going for it. My question is, why do you need another friend that's not me? If we're in a relationship, I'm supposed to be your best friend, and everything above. To have another male friend be your close friend is unnecessary. I understand that certain people already have close friends before they get into a relationship. So just give up the history and years that you have with a person is difficult. But out of respect for your relationship, you still have to consider the dynamic that you have with your partner. If you're one of these people that you go out with your friend that you've known for years every weekend, now you get in a relationship and things start getting serious, months go on past, a year, 2, 3, and you're still doing these weekly things, out of respect for the partner, you have to let that go. You have to. If not, let it go, slow it down, limit it, because as you growing with someone, for you to be getting closer with someone else of the same race, of the same gender, then it gets into a tricky slope, because like I said, human nature, someone will eventually start feeling some type of feelings or whatever it may be start to generate. You have to be honest about these things, and that's just the truth. Thank you all for fucking listening to my another Yap session. It's literally the fucking episode 1. Bored as fuck. I appreciate anybody who even watched this shit, cause shit, I literally yapped for 20 fucking minutes. Hey man, let me know if y'all want to fuck another one. I'll probably drop it even if y'all fuck with it or not. I don't give a fuck.